For my teaching project, I'm going to be doing how to make a pendant. So this is what it looks like at the end. And what you're going to need is you're going to need pliers. These micro nose pliers work really well. Flat nose pliers, nylon nose pliers, wire nippers, a Sharpie, a ruler, and something to make the bail portion for the chain to go through. I like using these, but you can use a pencil or a marker. And you're also going to need stones, 20 gauge copper wire that's square shaped, like that, and 22 gauge half round wire. It's a little hard to see. On here, there's a picture that shows the half round wire and square wire a little bit better. So for the shape of stone, you can use really whatever you want. I have a few here that are kind of like a marquee shape or a teardrop shape or oval. For this one, I'm going to be using a teardrop shape. I'm going to use this one. Okay, so to get started, you want to measure your stone. This one is about just shy of 3 centimeters. So to get the length of wire that you're going to use for the square, you want to double that and get 6, and then usually I add another 20 that I could use. So this one is a little shy of 26. And then you want 4 of these. So you cut 4 like this. And then you line them up. So the squares lay flat together. So you have a flat surface. And then you want to mark the center of your wire with Sharpie. From here, you're going to cut a very long piece of half round. This I usually don't measure. And there's a flat side here, and then there's also a domed side. So you want the dome side out. So you're going to go about midway through the length of wire that you cut. Put the middle of it right here. That. And you just start wrapping around. Like this. And then from here, you're going to want to have about 15 wraps. It really depends on the size stone you're using. So we're using a really small stone. So you're going to want to do around 15. So I got that finished. And then from here, you're going to want to remove the tape that's securing it. So you have these really long pieces. Those are going to be used to make the side detailing. So if you look at the side of this pendant, it's wrapped around to give it a little bit more bulk to the sides. So you're going to want to think about which side's going to be your front and which side's going to be your back. So when you're moving to the back portion, move just one of these out of the way. And then when you're moving to the front, you're going to move 2. And then from here, you're going to take these longer pieces of the half round wire like that, and you're just going to wrap. You want to make it equal on both sides. So how many you do really depends on the size stone that you have. So this one's small, so it's probably going to be about 45 wraps on either side, but you can keep checking with your stone like this to see how far you need to go. So I'm going to do this and be right back. Okay, so I was right. I needed about 45 on either side for the size of the stone. Okay, from here, the back pieces, you're going to bend at an angle to come back and meet that center wire. Like that. And same with the front too. Come back Oh, I'm sorry. Can meet it and meet it like that. So they're all going to be bunched together like this. And then from here, make sure that they are still lined up. You want the squares to be flush like this. And then you're going to wrap around all of these 5 times and do the same thing on the other side. Once you have this step complete, you're going to want to grab your nylon tipped pliers. So the nylon tip makes it so you don't mar the wire and put divots in it. And you want to press down what you've done. So the center and the other side. Okay, so from this point you still have these on here, and that's okay. You're not going to cut them off yet. So now you're going to take your flat nose pliers like this, and you're going to create a bend, an even bend, or as even as you can get it. Sometimes it doesn't like to work that well, and that's when you scrap it and redo like that. And you want to make sure that your stone fits in there. Okay, and then you're going to hold the stone with your fingers, and you're going to bend these two, and you're going to create kind of like, oops, a U shape. So I'm going to keep going and then show you what it's supposed to look like once the stone's in there. Okay, before I keep going, this shorter tail, right now you can take your nippers, clip it, and reach it around, trim a little bit more off if you need to, and clamp that part down, because you don't need that half anymore. Okay, from here, your stone kind of is in the setting. I tape these together so I'm not fighting it, but as you see, it'll fall right out. So you have to be able to trap the stone. So from the back, those 2 wires that were in the back, you just bend them like that, and that'll hold the stone in from the back. And then from the front, you have to pay a little bit more attention. So all I do is go from the very bottom, bend in on one side. Oh, sorry, I keep jostling. Bend in from the other side like that. And then you can keep finagling and making sure that it's even. So as you can see, the stone isn't going anywhere. Shake it around, hit it, it's not coming out. But now you have to start to create the bail portion. So you take that long tail and you just wrap these 2 sides together like that. Okay, I'm going to keep going and then start making the bail. Okay, what I did was I secured the 2 sides together, pulled 6 of the wires forward, and then the 2 back ones I wrapped up to make the bail. So then you can use your tool that you're using to make the bail. I like to have a good size bail because that's where the wire or chain is going to be going through. And then you want to fold it in half. You can kind of manipulate it. Copper's very soft. Kind of bend this forward, and then you secure it down to here. Okay, so that gets attached. The rest of the long tail wrapped around here, and then you trim them. Then you bend them up so it's not stabbing anyone. And then from here, it's really just however you want to make the front. You can do swirls with them. You can do whatever you want. It's just so the design is balanced. So like you can do swirls like this. You can do swirls like this. Sky's the limit. Enjoy creating.